Hello, everybody. So, welcome back today. Sorry, I can't believe that we kept postponing this live over and over and over. But joining me today is Gigi, and we'll be covering both Bell Collective and Love and Marriage DT. We've not covered Bell Collective in like weeks, but to be honest, I don't really think much has happened relative to anything. But let's start. What did you think? In fact, let's go diving straight into Bell Collective because I'm annoyed.
So let's just go ahead and get into it because you already know, like you said, we haven't really touched on Bell Collective for a few weeks. So let's just touch on the main parts and just talk about it as a whole. Um, and since, we're going to do it how we're going to do it, we're just going to jump right into it, honey. Let's talk about this Latrice, talking about her and Selena sucking Cliff together. Ew. Like, honey. Okay.
Like to be honest, like everything in that Selena, Cliff, Latrice. Did you see the picture that someone took? It's trending on Facebook. I will see if I can find it on Facebook where they saw the back of her arms and it looked like bruises all over. I know that people have been saying that he has been beating her,
Hmm.
but she's like covering up. When I saw those bruises, I was like, wow. But I don't want to go ahead of myself. I do not want to catch any lawsuits. But those bruises look very, very, very like very suspicious to me. And I'm like, okay, it's not my place to speak, but it's actually quite suspicious that all of a sudden this kind of bruise is showing and like you and your husband. Like last episode annoyed me. Cliff, I was like, even Letitia. Let's start from last episode because I think last episode really pissed me off because the previous one I felt like was a filler episode. But last episode, after the party, then Cliff went to call Glenn about the whole thing, telling him that
Yeah.
Tisha is in the party and they are like
Like, but
strippers.
this shit was all over the
It's
stripper and
the it's the pretense that Letitia is having as if she doesn't know that Glenn and her husband are the same type of people. I'm like, girl, why are you pretending like you do not know? Yes, Cliff was wrong to talk to Glenn and sort of like tell him about
Cliff should never have called Glenn and told Glenn anything, first off, because like I agree with Aikisha. Like, first off, Cliff wouldn't want nobody, doesn't want anybody in his marriage and his business, doesn't want anybody talking about anything that's going on with them. So he has no business at all calling Glenn saying anything about what Letitia's doing because first off, she wasn't even on the stripper. She wasn't even doing anything like out of pocket or out of ordinary. And if he really didn't like it, he should have took his ass out of there. Him and Latrice
I mean, he
should have
was
got the
looking
got
at
out
those
of there.
strippers that he doesn't mind taking one of them back home. I mean, did you see the way he was staring?
He
So please, it should really sus me up.
absolutely.
I'm
He,
like, dude,
yes.
but Letitia on her own, she's a pretender because why is she acting like Glenn doesn't act the same way that Cliff is acting? Talking about
Right.
he's possessive, oh is this, is that. I'm sorry, like girl, look in the mirror, look at the dude that you actually are married to. And thank you. Can they as well stop pretending that they are that they are getting a divorce because I'm tired of that dumbass storyline.
No, that shit's not happening. I don't feel like that. And honestly, and I agree with you too, because look at how he was acting when you left and went and tried to find your place. He popped up. He said he put a tracker on your car and inside your car was listening to your phone conversations, all types of shit like that. So, girl, you know that this man he's like Cliff. He's possessive. He's intrusive. He is, you know what I'm saying? He's all those things. And you had already said that you know how he is and you're afraid of what he might do. So, girl, no, you know that he's like Cliff in ways. He might not be maybe physical like Cliff is allegedly, but that
Allegedly.
like that doesn't mean that he's not, you know what I'm saying? But like there's still a lot of things that are similar to Cliff. That's why him and Cliff do get along so well. And something else about Cliff. I'm gonna need yes, he definitely needs captions. Like I need closed captions with him every fucking time he speaks because I was like, what is he saying? Like what? You
You
really
definitely
cannot
don't hear what he's
understand
saying.
him.
I only listen to people's like reactions to get what he's saying. That's like the only way you can legit get what Cliff is saying because I really sometimes do not get what he says. But and what also annoyed me was the fact that Latrice was defending Cliff. Like, I don't get this woman. Like, I really just do not get her. Is it that she understands every time she says, "Oh, my marriage is perfect. Oh, I love my husband." Girl, nobody's asking you if you love your husband, yes or no. Nobody actually cares because we know you love him. So it's not like we do not know you do not love him. But you need to be able to tell your husband that you are stepping out of line.
She can't tell
And then
him
you
that,
stepping
and she
out of
is trying
line.
to defend it by saying she loves him. She has to defend his actions, and she is trying to actually, she's trying to make herself believe that she loves her husband. She's trying to make herself believe that what he does is okay. So that's why she's always saying, "But I love him. But I love him." No, girl, you love the idea of his money. You love the idea of the lifestyle that you're living. You love the idea of what you have. You don't love him. That's not love that you have, girl. So no, and when you're just like Marie said, you're looking for a daddy in your husband. And your mama even said that shit. Like, no, that is not love. And for her to keep defending the nasty like I don't know. No, no, no. There's no excuse for how Latrice defends this man against the nasty stuff he does, especially against your so-called friends. These are supposed to be your friends. And the reason why she can't stick up for him is because she knows that when she goes home, she has to deal with what he's going to do.
I'm telling you. But I also think these ladies are hypocrites. As much as I'm coming for Latrice, they had okay, let's move to the time where they went for Akaisha's that nonsense mail whatever. I don't really I just feel like
The
Akaisha's storyline
holiday,
is
the holiday
yeah.
mixer.
So they went for the holiday mixer. I don't even know why they call it the holiday mixer. It's not like I don't know whether it's like difference in culture. I feel like if you're celebrating Christmas, why do you guys call it holiday mixer? I just don't get it.
So because her last name is Holly, and it's called holiday, the holidays or
Okay,
whatever.
okay. Oh yeah, I remember. Now I've thank you for reminding me about that point because I wanted to say something because I jotted this thing down a long time ago and I sort of like forgot some points. I feel she's trying to overcompensate with the fact that she's not, it may sound harsh, she's not genetically a holiday.
Mm,
So she's like trying to overcompensate so that when people remember the son named Holly, they're like, oh yeah, her. Because you are reminding everybody every single time about that. And I totally understand this is quite common with kids that are adopted, kids that
uh,
are in like basically when they know that oh the relationship between them and their parents are not genetic, the tendency to overcompensate is there. So I actually wanted to like put that point down. But my point is that they got to the party. Did you see the way Cliff was acting? Even Letitia was like, I'm the one who's supposed to be pissed. I'm the one who my husband was called, and you were basically telling on me, acting as if I went out to cheat on him. And then what annoyed me was that if you have a complaint to say to somebody, you guys are adults, you guys are women. Why were you guys gossiping in a group, talking nonsense, bashing Latrice, and then she walks in on its cricket?
right. That you know what? If it's like I feel like, especially with how bad the situation has, and I know that these women see this shit, y'all need to really sit down and like, hey, listen, Latrice, we see what's going on. We understand that you love your husband, and look, it's hard. It is hard. No
But
woman
they
wants to hear
do.
anything about their relationship. No woman wants you to come to them and try to tell them how they should be as a woman, how they should be as a wife, what their husband is or isn't doing, what they should do in their marriage. Nobody wants to hear that, period, point fucking blank. But the fact of the matter is, if there's abuse being shown, or if you're being neglected, or you need to be protected in a way, then they need to, you know what I'm saying? I feel like they need to come to her at a different way, whether it's one on one, whether it's all together in a group. Like, hey, we all see this. We need listen now, girl. We know what's going on. You are getting abused. Enough is enough. But I think she sees it, and I think they have said it. But she just, it's one of those until
They
she's
actually
tired.
have because
Until she's tired.
I know that her and Marie were going back and forth like 2 weeks ago. This is what happens when we've not been reviewing this show like seriously. So hi, Training at some point. Thank you for stopping by.
Cindy, at some point.
They've been going back and forth on Twitter for like about, if I'm sure, about 3 weeks. And I know that Marie mentioned the whole domestic violence and that she has spoken to like Latrice about the whole thing. And at the end of the day, Latrice was just shading, insulting her, coming at her. So it's not like these ladies have not said anything before. They have. They've had conversations. Obviously, the show is not going to show her being abused, obviously, but these ladies have had like conversations with her, but she refuses to leave because obviously she has daddy issues.
Right. She absolutely has daddy issues. We see that, and that's why I said this is the point where she just has to, like, it's when she's ready, because you can talk to a person till they're blue in the face. All these ladies can talk to her, they can do an intervention. She sees it, she knows what's going on, she doesn't really want to be there, but she loves the money. It's not Cliff that she's loving the idea of Cliff. She's loving the idea of the lifestyle she has. She doesn't want to give that up. She's not trying to get rid of that. So she's willing to endure the abuse. And the conversation she had with her mom. She's she's trying to she's seen what her mom went through, and in a way she thought that that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to stick it out. You're supposed to deal with the abuse. You're supposed to deal with whatever comes, because that's your husband. And that's far from the truth, even though her mom would know, like, no, baby, that's not what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So really, with Latrice, it's gonna be until she's ready. And it's so sad because she's so beautiful and she's young. Like, she is so young and has so much life to live, but you you can't tell her nothing right now. You can't. But you can tell Cliff got a hold on her. And the lady's not saying nothing. Them talking,
She's not
saying what they
saying
had to
anything.
say.
She's going to lose everything. So that's it.
Well,
She's going to lose
I hope she has a real good backup plan. Like, with all the shit that
I
she
can
is
tell you
enduring,
guys, if she
please have a
leaves
good
this
backup
man,
plan.
if she leaves this man, she is going to another sugar daddy. I keep saying it. If she leaves Cliff, she's going to be dating another older man. So I don't even have any hope for her finding any better because the way she speaks, the way she acts, she knows better. It's not like she doesn't know better. She definitely knows better, but she just doesn't want better because she's obviously looking for a man that is a father figure, a man that actually will cater for her.
Hmm.
Yes, the worst thing that could actually happen to someone is to have daddy issues. Yes,
Yeah,
not even daddy issues, because some people have daddy issues, unresolved daddy issues.
yeah. But this is the thing. Like, it's really all on, because people have issues, and it's all on really how you deal with it. Because you can say, "Oh, I have daddy issues. That's why I made this choice." But guess what? if you know you have daddy issues, get some help to fix some fucking daddy issues and then try to date or try to, you know what I'm saying? Go out in
Yeah.
the world and do what you have to do. Fix those issues first. Stop using those issues as a weapon. Like stop weaponizing that. You know, oh well this is why I keep doing this because I have daddy issues. No, no, no. That's not an excuse anymore. We're gonna take that shit off the table. Like you only get to use that for so long. After that, now it's just you. Like this is what you want. After a certain point, it's just you.
Yeah.
And it's getting to that point with Latrice. Like, girl, it's
Getting
becoming like this is what you
it's
want
already at
because
that point. It's
yeah, because
already at that point. But to be honest, why does Tambra lie so much? What's our issue? I feel like she's lying about that guy. I just don't know.
Amber's lying
Because
about a whole lot. And can we
like,
say something about her 1993 prom dress that she has in confessional? I was peeping at stuff. I was like, girl, could we not have did better with your whole get up? Maybe it was just me. You know, I did smoke today, so I was like, I just thought I was at prom again, and I was like, I wasn't in prom in 1993, but hell, it reminded me of a prom dress that my sister wore. I was like, damn, all right,
it's like I just don't get it. She's so young, but it's like I don't like. Did you see our excuse? Yeah, she's giving Destiny vibes. Our
yeah,
excuse is that, oh, I'm in the public, so I'm actually like very very guarded with what I say, what I do. So your close friends do not know anything about you. It is that bad. See, Letitia, yes, Letitia and Marie confronting her with someone getting into their DM saying that it's the ex-husband, blah blah blah. That was wrong. Confronting her in public is very embarrassing. That was wrong. But
right,
for them to have to confront you to get even a simple answer, that says so much about you. Like they have no idea about anything about you. Everybody is in the dark.
right. And my question is, so what did happen for this man? Like, okay, and I'm not saying there's not crazy men because there are a lot of them. So what really? Okay, so y'all was only dating for a couple months. This man says that y'all was engaged. Like there's court proceedings. There was like evidently there was paperwork because Marie said that she saw it where, you know, court paper, you know, the court case was thrown out and all this other stuff. So what really happened in those couple months? Because we see that within the 2 months that you moved in with Damon, y'all stopped having sex. Like I don't know. I just don't get her. Like I feel like she's an opportunist. Like she's I don't know. I don't know. It's something with Tambra. I just don't understand her. She's
Yeah, trending at some points is true. Tambra did not deserve the whole. I actually felt like she was being attacked, even me. I think the problem with Marie is that she has a vendetta against Tambra that she needs to sort out, like personally. She needs to sort out why she wants to expose Tambra so bad. Because I'm like, if I really do not give a F about somebody, I won't be going so hard trying to
yeah,
expose the person. She needs to sort out why she's mad, and when she sorts it out, she will probably feel better. But Tambra on her own just needs to come clean. All these bloody excuses of, oh, I'm a public person, blah, blah. Everybody on that show automatically became a public person. But at least we know something, some way about them. I just cannot, I don't know anything about Tambra.
yeah.
I
Tambra
said the
definitely
same
is the
thing.
destiny. She's
Yeah,
definitely the destiny of Bell Collective because
do you
what
see
is
how
this
Akaisha
storyline?
Yeah, do you see how Akaisha's sister was like? We're like coming at her. Her voice is obviously fake. She does not know how to extract herself from her radio personality. That now the timbre she's giving to people is the timbre of the radio. Timbre does not have any personality anymore.
Right.
That is not the radio personality, and that is terrible.
And did you like remember when she made the comment like something like the people on the radio trust her or something like that. And it's like, girl, they don't know you. What do you mean the people on the radio they trust and believe you? They don't know you. That was like a because
And you
I
can
think it was
actually lie to people on the radio, they just would not search it out.
yeah. When she made that comment, I was like, girl, oh no. If those are the friends you have or the backup that you have when somebody comes at you and calls you a liar or says that things that you say are not true and that's the backup you have is to say that the people on the radio believe you. No, honey, because you feed people on the radio a false personality. Like you're a personality. It's not your real person. Like that's the whole thing. Just like on reality TV, even though you're supposed to be you, honey, no, you're giving false. And it shows, but you're not giving enough. So I do feel like, Letitia and Marie pushing like they did and even trying to expose her like that was wrong as hell. If you don't
That
fuck
was
with
very
her, leave her
foul.
alone. Like that back. Like, why are you
And the
doing so
way
much for somebody you
they
don't
were
mess with?
hitting on the whole thing, you would think Mary was probably like she had a hidden child. Sorry, Tambra had a hidden child or something like that. It was very foul, and at some point, I'm like, am I missing some context? Yes, she wants to expose that she hid probably a fiance or something, but am I missing something that happened? Because this is like you are going way too hard. Like it didn't make and someone's
Right.
like, damn, you guys just like needed to chill.
Like, is it the fact that she doesn't come with you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so, well, since you're not gonna show your real life, we're gonna show it for you. Type. Like they pushing. They're definitely pushing for her to show her life. Now, there's a better way to do that. If that's what you're trying to do, you could do that. Definitely in a different way. But the way they did it, yeah, it was foul as fuck. But I also feel like Tambra, like honestly, if you're not going to show yourself, get off the show. Like, why are you here? And I kind of feel that way about Akeisha too, real life. So,
Man, even Letitia at this point, because I'm like, go,
right.
please.
Like, yeah.
The
It started,
storyline is fake. Akaisha is boring. Funny enough, I actually like her husband. It seems funny. The whole
mhm.
scene with what's his name? The whole
Shit,
scene with God damn it,
with
was
JJ.
actually really, really wholesome. But apart from that, I don't. Funny enough, I like her husband. I don't like her. There's just something. Ever since she stole the whole idea, I've just not liked her one bit. I've just not
Mm.
liked.
And she
I
seemed
don't
so surprised, like she didn't know about the idea, so how could she have stolen it
Did you
when
even see
she
the way she explained it to her husband? I didn't like the way some of the girls talk about the fact that I probably stole the idea. Now I didn't go. Why are you trying to gaslight the viewers?
yeah, and then when she said that to her sisters too, she was like, and they try to say that I stole the idea how when I didn't even know about it. And I'm like, well, you did, but
Like
okay.
for real, you did. It was so I hate the way she acts like she's confused. She doesn't know why she's not liked. Those are the worst kind of people. They will do you bad and then they will start acting ignorant about
Right.
what they've done. And then when you are mad, they'll start telling you, oh, why are you mad at us? Or why are you angry? Or why are you this? It's and then when you're trying to defend yourself, they start getting defensive, and then you
Yeah.
start looking like the bad person.
Right. And then then it's like you look bad because now they're mad because you're mad at them. And it's like, oh, well, why are you mad at me? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, why are you mad at me? Oh, you're a bad person because now it's your fault. Like, no, that shit, that gaslighting, oh no. No. And she sure, man, she did that stuff so quick. And she does it with these, doesn't flinch. Her face is just like, no. I don't
And
really
she
too much like
she
Aikita.
sort of exposed the fact that the Bells are not her friends.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, these are my real friends, and then the Bells. I was like, ooh, who did not like? Why didn't they cut out that part? Why did they allow that? Because the storyline. Then why are you mad? Because then why are you mad at Tambra? Why are you mad at the girls not being buddy buddy with you? If you're saying they're calling them the Bells, and
Well,
this
clearly
other
she's mad at Tambra because Tambra was supposed to be her friend, and Tambra brought her on, but then turned around and Tambra was talking about her and made it like she can't be trusted. So that's why she don't like Tambra. She says that. She didn't
but she
put that
can't be
out.
trusted. She actually can't be trusted. So I really don't understand what she's mad about.
Well, when the truth comes out, people don't like it too much.
Well, that's facts actually. I wouldn't want someone throwing the truth at me.
Like it just seemed like you know what I'm saying. Like whenever you get called out on your shit, unless you're a person who can actually take accountability for yourself and you actually know like who you are. Like no, if a person tells you, hey, like no, you fake as fuck or you did some fake shit or like whatever the case is, you gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad and act like no, I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? And next thing
Yeah,
you know, it turns around to this situation. Why are you saying that about me? I don't know why they said this. I don't know why they said that. Oh, now we're not friends because I don't know why. Yes, you do because you know what the fuck you did or you know how you are. Like, stop playing games. Because one thing is, if we're friends, especially if we're real friends, you know how I am. I know how you are. So I know what you're capable of. You know what I'm capable of. Don't play this game with me. Just because you might not do this shit to me and I might not do this shit to you, I know what you could do to others. And if you did it to me, then I can speak on it. Period.
yeah.
Right. But yeah, Tambra, Keisha, y'all can go on. Yeah, just it's all right.
Like to be honest, they rarely actually had anything on the show, so it's not like people are going to miss them. So they might as well take a bow.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. So Gucci, so Gucci, uh, I don't know. She just seems a little standoffish, and she's another one.
She's tapped out. She's tapped out. Oh, trending at some point said Marie may be mad that a lot of our business is out there. Addict mother, horrible ex-husband, lawsuits, etc. I will still don't know much about Tambra. Well, actually, I don't think I would agree per se. As much as I feel like Marie's gist is out there, she puts some of it out there, like the horrible ex-husband and the addict mom. The lawsuits, well, people can search it up. But I don't think that's the problem with Tambra because on Twitter, if I'm looking at both what he said on Twitter and on the show, she said she volunteered the storyline of her horrible marriage, of how she was maltreated, everything, and then they decided not to show it for some weird reason. She volunteered that storyline. But from the vibe getting from Marie, there must be something that is actually happening in private because this is way too deep. She wants to sabotage Tambra. Tambra is not even, I don't like Tambra at all, but it's quite obvious that Marie wants to actually sabotage Tambra. Like, even even the
You know,
blind
I
can see
feel
that.
like Marie is on, she just wants to expose like, I don't know if it's because she is single and she kind of wants to have people with her. Now, this is just some alleged shit right here. Okay, it's allegedly. But look at how she is, even when it comes to Latrice. Like she's wanting everybody's shit to be out. Tambra, she wants it out. She's talking about Latrice's stuff.
But
You know
what
what I'm
if she's
saying?
mad that they decided not to take her storyline? So more or less, she's like a friend of the show. Meanwhile, every other person is becoming the it girl and or like the main girl, and she's still like, or even if she's a main girl, she almost seems like not a main girl.
Right. That's possible. You know what? And that angle, definitely. She could definitely be, on the road to being the it girl. Because out of everyone, she would be the it girl. Honestly, look at everyone else's story. She's actually exposing the most. You could say Latrice and Cliff, really, because, if we look underneath the surface of really what they're showing and what we know, allegedly, their story is kind of major. Everything else, everyone else's story is not really too much. Marie is the one who's showing it all. Plus, she's trying to expose everyone else. And she's not afraid to jump into anybody else's business and try to turn up the heat on it.
Yeah, but I guess
Like,
I
and I
don't
don't
know.
even know why. Like, why? That's my question. Like, what is it?
I
Like,
think we'll probably find out during the reunion because they already like shut the whole thing. And I think we have how many more episodes? Like three left. So
mhm.
we'll probably see. So I think that should be all for Bell Collective. Let's get into Love and Marriage DT. So
Oh,
I think I have a slide for that one because that was the one I first watched. See, yeah, I don't want to bring the Nigerian in me for this show right now. Other husbands, trash. But
oh,
why was Latoya and Anthony taking sides? Why were
I
you taking sides?
okay. So Latoya was sitting there listening to all of it as it all was happening. So I feel like she was hearing how everything was going, and that's why it kind of like she kind of jumped in and said what she said. Um, and that's why she had more feeling about it. Um, now, see, okay, so I have a couple different feelings. I'm on the fence because see, I can see both sides. I can see both sides, but I'm gonna say it is weird. It is very weird and odd, and I would feel some type of way as well if I say something to someone. If I have a conversation with you about an idea that I have, and the very next day you call me and tell me that you're doing the exact same thing that I just told you that I was going to do, I'm gonna feel some type of way, especially if you do it more than once.
Man, please, what kind of influencer? I went to check her. Dude, can you stop typing? Your typing is making so much noise.
Uh,
I
who's
don't.
talking?
I was talking to somebody.
Oh, okay.
So I went to check their Instagram pages. Christina has like 29K followers. Kobe has about 50 something K. I don't know why people who call themselves influencers are always mad when they start influencing. Because that's your job. You practically call Kobe your younger sister and you influenced her and she decided to get the same job. Yes, it does seem snaky, but you're influencing. Now, if we look at it the other way, at least she was man enough to call you
Right.
and inform you.
Right.
And if you remember clearly, she told her friend that Colby texted her and she did not check the text message. So the
Mm-hmm.
fault actually comes from both sides, both Colby
Right.
and um Christina. So I'm not gonna take sides on who is right, who is correct, because I feel both sides, it was like a problem with miscommunication. And then I'm
Right.
also looking at it another way. I find it very suspicious that all this is popping up, especially after the whole Colby exposing Brandon thing. Almost like Brandon put a battery on Christina's back and it's like, oh, go and attack.
I feel that this is also coming after they have made up. So, now they have to be like extra strong together. They have to be on this like extra strong front. And
That's pathetic. If you look at it in this show, the only time we've seen Brandon and Christina have a united front is when they are fighting. Apart from that, no, no, no.
right. But that's what it has to be. And that's why I said I see it on both sides because I do feel like Christina, like, okay, yeah, like you said, so if it was just anyone else, yeah, it would be a problem. But you are mentoring Kobe. You did say this is your little sister. You're showing her the ropes. You're pushing her to do things. You know what I'm saying? You're giving her connections and different things like that. Now, when she called the person to do the collab with, and they said that they were collabing with you, she said, no problem. This is great. She called, she texted, she tried to get a hold of you, let you know what was going on. Hey, let's do this. You decided not to respond back. You said you were confused. If you're confused, call.
She should have just been honest and said, Kobe, I do not want to do this deal with you. This is what when you start like over
Exactly.
explaining, cutting through corners, not trying to be like straightforward. If you do not want to do it with her, say it. Kobe, I like you, I love you, and my sis, but I find it really irritating, and I don't want to do this job with you. Do you know that if she had just said no, none of this would have happened. None of it at all. So it's like,
Right.
what exactly are you complaining for if you could not even be man enough and just tell Kobe that, oh, sis, I'm sorry, I can't do this.
Right. That's all you had to do. You are supposed to be a grown up. You are older than her, and you are her mentor. Okay, listen, there are some collabs we can do together, there are some that we can't. So, this is one I already have in the bag. We're not going to do this one together. No, no, we're not going to do this. But, you know, I'll try to set up one that we can next time. Something. Communicate that. But with the I'm confused, what are you confused about? Still, if you're confused, be woman enough to call, pick up the phone and call her. Or, hey, let's meet up somewhere. Let's meet up and talk about this. Something. Were you too afraid to have a conversation? And I feel like with what Latoya was saying was like we always do this when it's somebody we're trying to have fun. It's a meetup. It's good vibes. It's what I'm saying, good situation. Then some shit want to pop off. That's when
That's
conversations want to
them
be
being
had.
hypocritical because the last time during the wine tasting, it was her husband that brought it up. So,
Yeah,
nah.
not knowing, just talking out his ass, just bringing up stuff. Right, right.
So I get it that every single time they go out, they argue, and Brandon and Christina make everything about
Ah,
themselves. As I said,
Tony.
they are trying to be the Mel and Mattel of Love and Marriage Huntsville too. They want to be the Mel and Mattel of Love and Marriage DT. And I'm like, you
Hmm.
don't need to always make every event about yourself. It gets boring at some point. You guys cannot be that because Christina is not liked.
Right.
Now, Russell and oh my god.
Oh my God, look, this shirt. Let me tell you, this shirt is one of the most talked about shirts I have listened. Ah,
I've never laughed so much. When he said the shirt was just sad, I love us.
listen, it was said it was side eyeing everyone in the room.
I was like,
Listen,
damn, this is like, why was he
and
doing
right,
all that?
Linda. Right. I hope, Brandon, I hope that shirt you wearing to Christina when you with that little artist of yours, honey. Uh, right. Well, I don't know if that's how you sound, but look, I hope that's how I'm saying it. Brandon, I hope you wearing that shirt of Christina when you with that little new artist of yours, honey. Like, cause you was surely acting funny up in that studio, but you wasn't wearing that shirt though. When did you get that made? After y'all made up, he went and got a shirt made. She was like, you know what? If you really love me, go get a shirt of my face. It's just my face everywhere, and I want to look like this. He took a picture of her side eyeing everybody and was like, now put this on a shirt. That is crazy. That that is madness. That is madness.
But I found it that, it's always like, oh, I'm from Detroit, I'm from this, I'm from that. I told us that Detroit people do not take insults. I mean, this man legit told you to his face, to your face, that if he was not saved, he would have beaten you, broken your bones, and you just sat there saying, oh, I'm gonna look.
Right.
Please.
He he sat there because he knew Russell was serious. And Russell looked like he could have broken every one of Brandon's bones. And when he said that, I was like, oh, I felt it. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm so happy he saved too. Thank you. Thank you for being saved because Brandon, you lucky. You were really lucky. Brandon, listen,
Brandon was so
Brandon might be
calm
from Detroit, but Brandon's still one of them. He's a pretty boy, Detroit. He's not a fighter.
at all.
Brandon will get his ass whooped. He don't know how to fight.
At all. It was so obvious that he doesn't know how to fight because that was a cry for war. Someone would not tell me that, oh, I'm gonna box you, I'm gonna do this. And I was like, that's a threat. And like, oh, I'm just gonna sit here, I'm just gonna smile, I'm like, oh,
Like, ugh,
no wonder Anthony keeps telling you that he's going to teach you how to be a man. I'm not saying you have to go out there and fight to everybody. I mean, that's how you get killed. But this is your homeboy. You know that obviously he's not gonna kill you. You know, obviously he doesn't carry guns. You know, obviously, and he's like threatening you that if he was not saved, he's getting obviously. I mean, look at Russell. He's fine. He's well built. He goes to the gym. So I mean, Brandon practically just looked at himself and was like,
uh,
you cannot
right.
relate."
That's because he is, he's got the brighter skin, the pretty hair, so he feels like that's all he has to do. Like,
Yeah, with the man bun.
no. Yeah, no, honey, there's more. I'm sorry. That's good for Christina. She's good with that. Y'all have that. That's great. But no. And then okay. One thing that I will agree with Brandon on, Anthony, what the hell was that meeting about?
Everybody was confused. I was
Brother,
confused. I,
did you take notes from Marcel and Letitia? 'Cause
I
what's
didn't
that?
just understand what the whole thing was about.
No, All we know is it was a men's meeting. There was men there, and they talked. They used words. What the words meant, we don't know. They formed sentences that we don't know. That we don't know. We just don't know because that was terrible. I was really hoping he was going to say something that actually somebody could get behind because Detroit is Midwest. I grew up in the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, say something that would represent, you know, something positive. Please say something. No, I was like, I am so confused. Do I need to give PowerPoints? Do I need to like Mel? I'm gonna need you to somebody help him, please help him because that was terrible. Like
to be honest. And then
like and
when he was then talking to Christina, Christina was like, "Oh, Russell was so dramatic. Russell was so this." The problem with Christina is that nobody has ever defended her. I mean, her husband told her that she was insecure, so obviously she doesn't know what protection looks like.
mm, yeah, when I don't feel like Russell was.
Are you saying something?
Oh no, I was just trying to form my words when it comes to Christina because she just I don't know. Christina just kind of throws me in a way. She has that almost kind of like that victim mentality to me, and it kind of like throws me off. Like she just I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like Russell coming to Kobe's defense was him coming to his wife's defense. That was great. I don't feel that he said anything wrong. I don't feel like he was being dramatic. He wasn't being like off the top. He didn't say anything wrong.
If he was being dramatic, he would have broken her husband's bones, as he said. So
Right, right. He would have said it then. Like he would have got rah rah loud and all that other stuff. Like he didn't. Like Russell was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like Brandon bringing up shit was starting something. Like Brandon, what they was talking about had nothing to do with anything. Like what you brought up was starting something. Now and then you started calling her names and stuff. You didn't have to call her Kobe Cat. And
and then
everybody was like, "Oh, she didn't have to get mad." And
their interview with Carlos, this is said the Colby cat. So I'm like, come on. Are you guys the first episode? You guys came together doing lives, laughing about how you guys are friends. I know. As when I was speaking, like the thing is that these people will still pretend that they are friends, but when they watch the season, see what each other has been saying about the other in the diary or in their confessionals, everybody would no longer be friends. And now with the way it's going, I suspect that that's what's going to happen
yeah,
because I'm like,
my thing is, why can't y'all just talk like real adults? Like honestly, this whole situation didn't even have to come to where it is. Like if y'all would have just actually just had a conversation, like adults, like you said, y'all went live together. First episode, everything was good, and oh, you're my mentor, you're my sis, this is my little sister, my big sister, da, da, da. We love each other. Oh, this is great. Why can y'all have had this conversation? And instead of acting like, and like, review and thought said, Christina did keep saying like, this is not how you do business. Okay, you could have had this conversation, had a meeting before
say
the
the
whole skating
truth.
rink thing.
Kobe, I feel like you're
Like,
copying me, and that's just how I
right.
feel.
Tell her that, but like I said, pick up the phone, have a meeting. You could have had this meeting before the whole skating rink thing, and that incident wouldn't have had to happen. Why did it have to happen then? If you want to do the shit on camera, you still could have had camera time, but you could have did it outside of the skating rink. Create your own camera time. Like what are y'all doing? Okay, this is not how you do business, but this is how you do business. Create your own camera time. There you go. I just gave you something. Bam. You can thank me later. Like, come on. Like, you didn't have to do this at the skating rink. And honestly, nobody else would have jumped in because y'all know Anthony just sits back and waits for a chance to jump in on some shit. He just sits back and waits. Like,
Anthony is dumb. Did you see his dumb ass excuse for no longer having Brandon in the meeting?
yeah.
Oh, I can't be with someone that has an issue with someone that I'm close with. Dude, this is business. Like, can we just stop?
And first off, if it started with me and you, how are you going to X me out, my guy? First off, you wouldn't even be in this thing if I wouldn't even have came and brought it to you. Or if it wouldn't have started with me and you can't just come and X me out just because of how you, a feeling that you have because you want to pick sides. No, like that's on you. But we still gonna handle this business because you're not about to mess with my money or my business or whatever it comes with. Well, no, 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 sir. If you feel like you won't go behind my back, then now we have problems. Now you're creating a real situation for there to really be problems. Now I have a situation to where I can say, okay, now this is why we aren't friends. This is why we don't talk. This is why I don't come around. This, you know what I'm saying? Like you're creating a real problem for us to not be friends. I don't have to fake no shit. I don't have to fake a storyline now because you just gave me a real one. Like Anthony, I don't
Honestly.
know. Like there's no reason for there was no like you can say your piece, but you don't have to pick sides. You could have just been like, y'all didn't have to do this here. This is a situation where y'all could have talked about this. Like I said, y'all could have talked about this beforehand. Why didn't you call her? You could have come on, y'all need to be adults. Christina, you are way older than her. You need to be an adult about this. Let her know. You're supposed to be her mentor. Come on, that's not being a mentor. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Not picking sides, you know what I'm saying, but still letting it be known like, hey, there's a way to do things. There's a way that we could do things differently. Yes, Kobe.
Because like, and I get the vibe that he's trying to make himself feel important because he definitely is not important.
Mm-mm. He's trying to make
Because
up for
that's what
losing
I
when he
get.
left Atlanta. See, he felt important when he was in Atlanta doing the work with Marvel. And since leaving, I think he feels less important because he's not doing that work anymore. So he's definitely feeling inadequate. He has to make up for it. And it's almost like he's a stay-at-home dad right now. So all he has to do is be in business. And he's trying to feel more important than what he is. So he's trying to
And
make the calls and
he's legit coming off as an irritant.
he's he's coming off as a Marcel. Like he's giving real he's always in some mess and always stirring up some shit. And I just feel like even if his wife isn't always in stuff, he is, and that's going to create problems with them both because like he's like I don't know. I don't even though he was crying on the boat and all that stuff. I really don't like Anthony. Like,
I
dude,
don't like him. I thought I was the one that really do not like this guy. I
mm-mm,
found somebody that feels the same way as me.
mm-mm.
I don't like him for any reason. He really rubs me like the wrong way, and I don't know
Yeah,
why. I can't stand him.
yeah, no, because he does too much. Like, so what? Why are you always stirring up mess? Can't you just, like I said, he's like a stay-at-home dad. He's inadequate. Like he's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, I just don't like him. I don't. I mean, it's out there. Forget it. I was trying to hold it in. And I was trying to give it time, and I was just trying to wait and see. Like, maybe I will. I don't. I'm sorry. It's there. Oops, cat's out the bag. Like, yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just really like damn. But that should be alright. I think we've
yeah,
covered both Bell Collective and Love and Marriage DT. Definitely this week will be better. And I'm
yeah.
happy
We're
that we've caught up with Bell Collective because I was almost giving up. I was just watching it and I'm like, whoever decide to do this ever. But yeah, we've caught up. So thank
yeah.
you viewers, thank you commenters. And we will see you on Saturday for Ready to Love.
Ooh, I cannot wait for this. Oh,
Sunday for Bell Collective and Love and Marriage DT. So we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. Don't
bye.
forget to subscribe to Queen's Tea with Gigi Nan. See you
Yeah, yeah.
guys.
Bye.